I'm Kanye.
I'm Karabo.
I'm Tato.
And I'm Tando.
So, continuing from our previous discussion, today we will be talking about relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So can I ask
Yeah.
the guys, when you shoot your shot, do you shoot your shot at someone you see yourself marrying?
Oh.
Or are you just shooting your shot because it's fun?
You know, it's different for guys, eh?
Oh.
It's different
Oh,
because
shit.
guys are different.
Yeah.
So there are those of us who shoot our shot for
So
marriage.
for you,
For me, I shoot my shot.
this is an anthem. This is an anthem.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not that guy.
I'm not that guy.
I'm not the same as all the other.
No. As I said, it goes back
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the fact that we're all different guys.
Yes.
So
But you also
if
say
the guy,
So every single time you shot your
I
shot, it was
I promise you, we don't say the same things. Because when a guy is set for marriage, you see it in his behavior, you see it in his action, you see the things he says to you, and you see it by his word, what he says and what he actually tries to pull through. Where if it's just a guy who wants to just toss you around, you can actually see, nah, he'll be there, I wanna marry you, Mara, highly boma. But then when it's like at 2 o'clock during the day, you know, he's back from school, you know, after the whole homework vibe, but the man is not like talking to you. You see, he's online and all of that. He's not talking to you. He's not premiered through his actions. So if it's a person that's actually in it for marriage, you actually see they check up on you. Hey, how are you? Things like that. You know, they focus on you.
I think we've all been dribbled by a guy who has checked up on us.
Okay, I must say,
Why?
in my past relationships, I gave up my Lamborghini dream for minivan. If that means.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gave up my Lamborghini dream for a minivan. And yeah, it's the person that I spoke about last time. So that's fine. It happened. One of this happened, and at the end, I got mushed.
Yes.
So I got broken.
But great.
So hey, bruh.
But can you have a little bit of context? Like, you don't have to tell us everything that happened with you, but just a little bit of context that we understand a guy in your position. Because all we know is that she hurt you, you were done dirty, but what does that mean?
It really means that I did not have bad intentions. Like all of my intentions were good.
Yes.
All of my intentions were because after this whole moshing thing, guess what I did?
You went back.
I was naive. I was like, yo, this girl, I'm gonna marry. After all that happened, I was like, yo, this girl, I'm gonna marry. So I went back, and then what happened? I got moshed. 2.0.
Consistency.
Never go back.
You can go back.
Okay, see,
Wait,
why do you think of why the question? Okay.
A person grows with like the more you age, the more you grow, the more you go through life, and then you learn less.
But why did it end? Why did it end?
That's the point.
Because they were
why
immature.
it ended.
If you were dribbled, you will be dribbled again. Don't do that.
I don't believe.
But if it was just a matter of you guys are going into different directions, or you guys have like, let's say for instance, people are going off to varsity, whatever the case is, you go to Stellenbosch, I stay here in Laval, we're like, okay, it's not working. Later on in life, we cross paths again. We're more mature, we can make it work now.
I like
That's
that.
a different situation
Yeah.
than this guy wasn't taking you seriously. Why will he take you seriously now?
Okay, wait. You know you lose a person and you actually come to terms with the fact that, oh my gosh, I actually lost this person. You know, why did I do what I did? Why did I dribble this person? I was immature, I had issues, I did it. You know? So now if I get past that and I come at you, you're gonna tell me, nah, you're still the same person you were 2 years
Maybe
ago.
2 years is a lot of time.
That's what
Was the gap 2 years between you and
No, that's a different story. That's a different story. That's a different story. If we're going to use him as an example, then we're talking about something different.
okay, cool.
But I'm talking about giving a person time.
Time, okay, I like that time. We agree on time.
Yeah.
So even if they dribbled you now, doesn't mean, okay, I mean they could. I can't say a person won't. I can't say that.
Yeah.
But give a person a chance to grow. You know what I mean? Like if you're not gonna let them at least see if I've grown enough, like, okay, not that I'm experimenting with you, but you know, I really want to try this with you, Bunny, like I want to try this again. But then you're like, you did this, you did that, then I'm like, okay, then I am this person. I might as well just do what I did before.
That's good. I have a question for guys. Like, why do you guys have such a problem with
relationships. Like
distance or just long?
no,
Long-
long relationships.
long-term.
Like a
Long-term,
year, like
yeah.
2 months. It's like
I have an
it's a
answer for
vibe,
that.
and then it's like
I have an answer for that. It's our intention. As you
Yeah.
said, it's our intention. Consistency.
You're here for
So
a good
if,
time, not a long
exactly.
time.
If I'm just here for a good time, then don't expect,
Longevity.
you know, just expect it to be short. That's what I'm there for. I'm fulfilling what I'm there for.
Okay.
I'm not about to be like, yo, see, I'm gonna be with you for life and all of that. But I know that, hey,
I'm not trying to be no
just here to play.
So if, for example, you're going for a girl and you're going for a short time, you know that, okay, I'm only trying to talk to this girl for a month.
They
She
don't
seems
tell
like a
you that.
vibe. No, they're not going to tell you that, but he knows his intentions. So what are you trying to get? Are you trying to see what type of girl she is? Are you trying to sleep with her? Like, what is
What
the,
is-
like,
Exactly.
what is the aim?
Some guys have different aims. Sure, I could be trying to sleep with her. Sure, I could just be trying to know her. Some guys actually just try and like date people just to try and know them to see if okay, is this person the right person for me? Understand? Can they deal with me? And obviously, if I feel it's not gonna work out, then it's gonna end. Understand me? So that's not. It actually comes down all to your intentions. You know, but then it's also not the same for guys. Girls do the same. I mean, when you're with a guy and you tell me, okay, let's say, I don't want to put in names or anything, but then let's say you're that type of person where you just want to be with the person just to sleep with them, you know. It's not just a male thing, but
Yeah,
it's also
female.
a female.
Some girls also
Yeah,
don't
do it.
choose one
they don't
You
care,
understand?
bruh.
So it's that thing of everyone has their intentions. Everyone has the intention for the relationship, how they want it to go about and all of that. So that's how I see it. It's all down to intentions.
Yeah.
because, you know, some of us at this age have already opened the door of sex before marriage.
Yeah.
And that's a very big thing, you know. But now, for people who are watching and for people who have already gone through that, how would you guys say that if you've already done it, if you've already slept with someone, how do you can I say, like, how do you lower that lust? Like, how do I pretend I'm a virgin again, you know? Because if I'm getting into a relationship again, I already know what it feels like to have sex.
Yeah.
But now I don't want to have sex with this person. I'm actually trying to marry this person. I'm actually trying to do things right.
Yeah.
But I have this lustfulness in me because it's this door is open. How would you guys say we should control that?
You were speaking.
So I feel as if you should go through a rediscovery journey where you actually rediscover what sex is, the true purpose of sex,
That's good.
with all its pleasures and all of that. Because I feel most people jump into sex without knowing what it is, what it's for, without even understanding the true purpose that it has. You know, sex is like soul ties, understand me? People don't know that. So I feel as if once you know what sex is, then you'll be able to be in the standing of what you're doing, you understand me? That's where you'll rediscover the whole purpose of what it is. Because I've met people where they're like, no, I had sex and all of this before my past life, and then I met the person I was with, I got married, and I was introduced to a completely new concept of sex. Because I didn't see it the way it was for. I just saw it as a toy, you understand me? So I feel as if you should give yourself the time to actually rediscover what sex is and everything else in the relationship. Rediscover what emotion is. You know, get to know yourself first and what your standing is before you just. Sure.
What would you guys describe as sex then? That's actually a good question. Because I know we like to beat around the bush. We're like, you know, like we all know what sex is. But there are so many gray areas that we don't actually talk about.
True.
I don't know. Yeah. You were speaking.
Well, touching on what he said, before you even engage in the sex, like when you look at a person, you can sort of see that, okay, no, I might fall for this person, or it's lust. Before it even becomes lust, the first question you should ask yourself is, where is this headed? Where do I want to see this? Where's the final destination? So if it is lust, then what me and my boys like to say, Canton and Myers. If you see a long term, then ask yourself again, is this where I really wanted to go?
Yeah.
And then ask yourself again, is this where I really wanted to go? And if the answer is yes, then
I would like to ask a question, but with Sia's question. So she asked, what is actually sex, right?
Okay.
Which I would like us to discuss. And I also want to ask, once you've understood what sex is, and I find this guy, and I really feel like, you know, I really love this guy, what. And although, yes, sex before marriage is a bad thing, but, you know, we are sinners. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying go for it, but if it happens, does that mean I can continue sleeping with this guy because I feel like he is the one for me, and I'm only sleeping with this guy? Or do I now, I've fallen into this sin, and I need to stop. I need to break up with this guy. I need to stop sleeping with him. What is supposed to happen now that I know what sex actually is?
So guys, you see in Christianity there's this thing called restoration. So where you do something wrong and then you go back to God and then God restores you for what you did. But then once you have been restored, you don't go back and do what you did because you know now that it's wrong.
Yes.
So now that is also touching on what Aura said about continuing going back to the sex and carrying on having sex with the person again. So yes.
Oh my God. All right. And then with Sia's question, it's a real question because we all kind of wonder at some point in our walk, like, okay, but what counts? You know, like what is the issue? Like how far can I go? What is permissible? What is not allowed? And I think, like with me, even going on that journey, obviously we all know, like, okay, sex as in penetration, out the picture, right? We all know that. And then you start to think of like other avenues that are a bit more fuzzy, you know. You start to think of, like, I feel like all of us know, you know, there are other avenues where, whether it be oral sex or whatever else, we always wonder, like, okay, but does that count? Some people will say no, but like this happened this way, so it doesn't count. But now it's like, okay, how do we navigate that? I think for me, the best way to like look at it is to not look at, is to look at sexual immorality as a whole. So it isn't a matter of you're having sex, penetration, now you've sinned. I think sometimes we need to look at it holistically, look at it a little bit wider and think of like, okay, what falls under the umbrella of sexual immorality? Because that's what we have to abstain from. So if it be any form of sexual interaction, then so be it. I think definitely like the levels of which, okay, to answer your question, what is sex? Let's start there. I think the general answer is penetration, oral sex, that's sex. Simply put, you know. And then when we think of like sexual immorality, like it does become fuzzy because we don't know what's allowed, what's not allowed, but I do think that it's important to note that different people have different journeys. So for instance, someone that has a problem with pornography will have to have much stronger boundaries because they know that they cannot control their lust. Someone who is a bit more controlled and they know that like they don't have issues with sexual immorality in that regard, maybe their boundaries wouldn't be so stern. But sometimes you need to know that, hey, if this person touches me this way, I won't be able to resist.
Boundaries.
And you have to put those boundaries in place because you know that you cannot stop it from moving on. So yeah, I think it is very personal, but there are some like black and whites where it's like, don't do it.
And then like touching on that, man, I feel like in a relationship, hugging is already, cause like okay,
Hugging is already. Cause like, okay.
that's true. That's true. Okay, kissing is already pushing the boundaries, cause like they're going to have some kind of emotion, that tingling sensation. You see, so already like hugging is already cause like boys they hug in such a way where like hey, yeah, that's true. You know, not like when they hug,
They touch you there and they're like,
and then they're like.
okay.
So it's already pushing the boundaries. So also kissing, it's already, cause like they also have emotions and everything, and then when they come at you slowly. So yeah.
So then let's have that conversation. So are we saying that all forms of
Contact.
No. All forms of pleasure received in a sexual manner. So whether it just be from being touched, or whether it be from being spoken to in a certain way, or even your thoughts, are we saying that all
Those are wrong. So,
I feel like if
You have Jesus.
then he can help you.
Honestly. Cause like if you pray and everything,
Sunday is like that though.
we are human. Boys are boys, girls are girls.
I feel as if for me it goes back to that whole but then for me it goes back to that whole rediscover your journey. So then when you rediscover yourself, then you really know what you can and what you can't handle, as if I say. You know what your boundaries are. And then if you stick to them, then obviously you'll all go
But can you say, let's not hug?
That she just said
No.
hugging.
Yes. But I'm saying like
Should
if
we
you
hug
have
though?
listen, if you have like Jesus, if you know, like okay, like you can hug, like, but if you know that okay, I believe in this, so I'm feeling this and everything, but God help me not to entertain this.
But how can you differentiate butterflies and like sexual
Sexual
pleasure?
pleasure.
Can I say
something? That's true.
You know what? I hear what you're saying, Kaine, but the way I understand it is that if you are, okay, imagine this, you're in a relationship and you don't hug your boyfriend because you know that, because you know that, you know, it's risky, but you go around and you can hug other people because they don't hug you the way he hugs you. How is he gonna feel?
Exactly.
Listen, I'm not saying you shouldn't hug. I'm saying the kissing part is already pushing it.
Okay, now I understand that, but I mean, I feel like if you can't handle such things, you can't be in a relationship. Well, at least not at this age.
Yeah.
Because at this age, we're already dealing with hormones and everything and
Yeah.
everything. So now you have to be a Christian as well, you know, and that's a whole other thing. So I feel like if you know that, because I'm just thinking, if, I don't know, maybe I sound weird, but if you're in a relationship with someone and you're not hugging them or kissing them, then what are you doing? You guys are just talking.
You guys are just friends, basically. But
Well,
kinda just friends.
Me, I'd hug
Okay,
it.
why are you guys in a relationship? I think that's what you need to tackle.
we shouldn't, like with me, man, we shouldn't be in a relationship in the first place.
So you just wake up married.
Not now.
We
She said
we
now.
do we do like connect and everything. We are close and everything.
Yes, I hear what you're saying.
But it's not a relationship type of thing.
So it's courting. Like courtship.
Well, I feel like all of this boils down to we are all human. We are all human. We can't say that, okay, let's not do this to prevent this from happening.
Yeah.
Because it will ultimately happen. Because
Not
why?
necessarily.
Okay,
Boundaries are
but-
important.
boundaries are
And they can
important,
be kept.
but we are human.
We are.
And
We
God's
are
children.
humans and God's children.
Yes.
So everything was made for a purpose. Sex is not a wrong thing unless you're
No.
married. Unless you're married.
Yeah.
Unless you, so it was made for a purpose.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's.
I feel like it also depends on the person. If you like you're strong and like you can fight this, then go for it.
So I think that covers pretty much the whole topic of sex, relationships, restoration.
Yeah.
You said a lot.
Yeah.
You said a lot. I really hope this episode was informative and that it helped you guys.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Leave your comments below. Let us know how you feel about this. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one.